Hello everyone, and welcome to our game of World of Warships. Today's replay is from Old Dog, and he is in the Fuso. It is 6 Japanese battleship. He is on the map Trident in an epicenter game. It's a tier 6 battle, so that's pretty awesome. There is 1 carrier per team, but the carrier is only tier 5, so no manual drops, and there is 1 destroyer per team. Now the enemy destroyer is Pan-Asian, which, well, it gives our destroyer some advantage torpedo-wise, I suppose. Our destroyer can torpedo the smoke from the enemy destroyer. And he himself has to be less careful. He could just, well, the Fubuki could have just gone straight in the center. It's a bit sad that no friendly ship is preventing the enemy team from capping right now. And yes, considering the enemy is a Fuso, I would have loved to see the Fubuki in the center. He could smoke up if there's trouble. I mean, there are some planes around here, there is also plenty of cover. And he can just as well launch torpedoes here in the center. Maybe catch the enemy off guard. So it looks like the friendlies are getting the center point for free. Now meanwhile, Old Dog is not moving very fast, and he is showing an awful lot of broadside, but so far nobody is aiming at him, so he can do that without a problem. And he is able to use all of the Fuso's guns right now. Now somebody is aiming at him. That's always an indication, if you are showing so much broadside, to maybe turn away or at least be wary. Now as a battleship on this map, you can try to push a flank. Don't do it too far on the outskirts, right? Still stay close enough to the point that you can support your team. Pushing a flank has the advantage that you can get maybe crossfire and that you can basically sink the ships behind the big island in the center. And hey! The friendly Fubuki is down, nobody's surprised. He pushed around an island in front of a perf, and well, he got detonated, so he got unlucky there as well. But his strategy was a bit flawed. He sailed straight in front of a perf around an island and obviously got spotted. So meanwhile, we have some more ships following that strategy, and not sure how well those cruisers will do. They are showing a lot of broadside to quite a few ships there. There is the potential of torpedoes coming their way. You need more ships to push this flank, and you want your battleships to be closer there. So Old Dog is still here in the center and engaging enemy ships at long ranges. There is a Fuso going not very fast. If he can get nice salvo into this Fuso's broadside, that would be very helpful. Now of course the enemy team is accumulating points because nobody is stopping them, and it would be really helpful to have friendly ships in there. Now Old Dog is probably deciding the same thing and is going here more towards the center. You could just, well, I mean, there is still the Fuso. Otherwise, I'd say you could just park your ship behind this island and engage maybe a few of those battleships over there. But you always have to be careful of a torpedo ambush. And with the friendly destroyer gone, there is no longer any spotting provided. Now there is still the carrier, but I'm not sure if the carrier will try to spot the destroyer. Quite a few hits on the Cleveland. Unfortunately, Cleveland's still around. And the friendly team is quite a bit behind ship-wise, points-wise. So something needs to change, and Old Dog here decides it's time for a more aggressive move. So far, no friendly ship has dared venture into the center, and well, if nobody else wants to, I guess it's time for the battleship to just go and capture stuff. Or at least prevent the enemy from accumulating any more points. Now here's the Fuso. There are most likely torpedoes on its way. And so Old Dog is turning away. That's always risky stuff. There are quite a few battleships here. And if there were some shells coming his way right now, he would be pretty much screwed. Not that the enemy is paying attention, mind you. We know this Cesare doesn't have guns pointing this way, neither does the New Mexico, neither does the König. None of those battleships have guns pointed this way, and now it's one battleship less even. But yeah, could have ended pretty badly if that Fuso engaged him, for example. But you know, if the enemy battleships aren't interested, then I guess it's pretty safe. So, friendly team still has a long way to go. There is still the smoke, there is still the enemy destroyer, and there are most likely... Oh. Yeah. One less enemy. So this destroyer is still a problem, which means Old Dog is moving away. He doesn't really wanna get too close to that smoke, make it easy for the enemy destroyer to score some hits. He is quite content to just punish the broadsides of enemy battleships. And well, there were the torpedoes, he dodged them quite nicely. But, well, the friendlies could still use some capture points, I assume. So, on the left flank, two battleships are pushing around, so some of the enemy ships might end up in a crossfire. Then again, I think the Congo pushed far enough that he is safe. And that New Mexico is in cover from Old Dog, so not really a crossfire unless the enemies abandon their cover, I suppose. But the enemy team still has the only destroyer, and that's always a problem. Now Old Dog starts his plane here. I assume he mostly does it to spot the Fuso. And there are the torpedoes, and they ran out. Ah, that's nice. The enemy battleship still not paying any attention to him, so he will just continue to sink them, I suppose. Can we get another Western strike? No. But still some nice damage. Now the Congo could potentially try something like a ram. The enemy team is far enough ahead that it would certainly benefit them. So that's something to watch out for. If I were this Congo, I might just go full speed and try to ram, but not sure if this Congo is moving that fast. Looks like he's more interested in holding his position. Well, the enemy team is still ahead with one ship, I suppose, but once this Congo goes down, they are even. We don't know exactly where the Fuso is right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he is trying to torpedo Old Dog. I mean, a full health battleship in the center of the objective is the prime target for a destroyer, I would suppose. But, you know, he is capping, so at least the Fuso is not here in the center. He might be in the second ring, we don't know. I mean, there is New Mexico in there, it could also be New Mexico just blocking. Now the friendly Cleveland here is getting ambushed by two enemy ships, looks like. But yeah, I think this Emil will be gone soon. Well, there's the Kraken. Kill secured quite nicely. So, There is a New Mexico sailing around this island just in time for the rear turrets to turn this way. Then again, somebody else finished him off and suddenly the friendly team is ahead quite a bit. They are capping everything and I'm not exactly sure where the enemy Fuso has gone. Maybe he is hunting some other battleships, but I'm really surprised that he so readily abandoned the objective. The enemy team's lead isn't... well, it's nowhere near enough, right? There are 8 minutes left in this battle. So, only 2 enemies remaining. This turned around quite fast. Now this König is pretty well angled. He could also try to go for high explosive there, maybe start a few fires. Considering that it's only the Congo and the Fushun left, switching to high explosive might be a decent move. But personally I also tend to use armor piercing. Most of the time I'm probably using armor piercing a little bit too often myself. Looking decent the salvo, but only 1 hit. But hey, it's some damage. The carrier is there as well. Can the carrier get a hit? Maybe. Looking good. Yep. So, that only leaves the König. König is on low health and continuing towards the zone wall because... well... I don't know why the last ships are always trying to run away. Turn this ship around, just get in there, try to do a little bit more damage. I mean, this König is never going to win. So he might as well go down in a blaze of glory instead of just running away. Now Old Dog has switched to high explosive. At this point, I think no matter what he's shooting at the König, I'm not even certain if he's getting another salvo off. Yeah. Looking good. Can he get his 6th kill? Yes, he can. Now here we are with the results. Old Dog managed to get himself 2,392 base experience. Nicely done by him. He earned himself Confederate 2 devastating strikes, a Kraken and high caliber. He sunk 6 enemy ships and was a slow start, but once he decided to sail into the center, he just wrecked the enemy battleships who paid absolutely no attention to him for whatever reason. So it was an enjoyable game in the Fuso. I hope you liked watching it, and I'll see you guys next time.